ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking back hits. Subscribe. Oh, I just look like a jerk. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Mezco Toys action figure review on the 112 Collective Spider-Man. Trying to get this figure, you can get it right now.
Big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Sweet looking packaging over here with the spot varnished spider logo, and we get the cobwebbing pattern right there, and then we get the back of Spider-Man's logo right there, or the back spider logo. And then on the very back of the packaging, you can see all these accessories, and we get some nice poses right over there, looking pretty cool. And then we get the back spider logo over there, and then on the top it says 112 Collective Pose Play Display, and then we get some warning stuff at the bottom. And then you can lift up the sleeve right there. Mezco Toys plop, and then you can see the Spider-Man figure inside. And on the very back, we get the spot varnished Mezco logo. Anyway, let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's Spider-Man out of the packaging, and this is a really good looking piece. I've actually been having quite a bit of fun with this Mezco figure. Very poseable, however there are some limitations here and there that I will get into in a little bit, but the figure looks really good and I really like the accessories a lot. So let's get a closer look at those accessories, and then we'll get a closer look at the Mezco 112 Collective Spider-Man. First off, we get these typical Mezco accessories. We get the Ziploc bag so we can put all the interchangeable parts in there, and you could write the name of the figure if you'd like. And then we get the display stand, which is pretty typical. You get 3 points of articulation, and you could tighten or loosen these with a screwdriver. And then you get rotation up here, and you get the clamp, and you could port this into the base, or you could use the peg port that goes through here, and you could plug the bottom of Spider-Man's foot into that, which I just actually misplaced. But anyway, we're looking at the back Spidey logo right there. I think that looks pretty cool. It's a bit of a finger mitt. Then for this Spider-Man figure, they've added a second clip with a magnet at the bottom, which I think is awesome. I think this is pretty cool. Only thing is I wish this could have been just a little bit shorter right here, but as you can see in these photos, I didn't have a hard time having him look like he was wall crawling up the fridge or thwipping away from the fridge. So yeah, very cool function to have this guy posed with a magnetic piece like this. So Mezco gave us some really good webbing. First off, we have this really long zip line right here with this great pearlescent white paint. I really dig it. It's very bendy. You can see that we get the little web glob at the very end, which I'm very pleased with. I think that looks great. I guess I could have added a little bit more to this, but I don't know, man. I'm very pleased with it. I like having this a lot. So that's cool. And on the other side, we get another web glob. And then we get 4 whipping webs. You can see this one is, for attaching to the side of a building or something. That's really cool. I really dig that. That is awesome. Then we also get these 2 smaller whipping webs of different length. Again, these look really good. I really like the webbing on these. That is awesome. Very well done. Then we get this wider spread one right there, which looks great as well. All of these just look spectacular. I'm very pleased with them. Nice pearlescent shimmer to all of them. As I darken things, you could actually see that shimmer a little bit more. But I do have a little gripe with these, which I'll get to in just a second. Then we get 4 pairs of interchangeable hands. We get fisted hands, we have web grabbing hands, thwipping hands, and wall crawling hands. One thing I find fascinating with these is that they're not exactly the same, which I like, it brings some realism to it. For instance, the wall crawling hands, you can see how these fingers are bent, and we're not getting that with the left side. Much more wide open wall crawling hand. Even the thwipping hands are slightly different from each other. And then you get the grabbing hands right there, which are really cool. I like that they have these little sculpted pads on the inside of the hands too, kind of makes it a little bit of a unique design. I think that's pretty neat. And I love this idea that they have here for the web shooters, where they have this little groove sculpted in here, and that's for the web shooter to go straight through. So just make sure it goes in there, and then you can see it just fits right into that little slot, and that's really cool. So that way you could just go ahead and port the whole thing together at once, and it just makes things easier compared to some other companies that have had something like this going on. So I really appreciate that. One bummer though is that it will tend to droop on me a little bit depending on the web line, especially this thicker one right here, that will droop on me a little bit. And one thing I want to mention is that this extra long one right here, this is 12 inches long. Hey, what the hell are you doing here? So we get 2 head sculpts with this figure, and I do like them both. I really like
what they've done with the eyepieces over here. You get a piece of clear translucent plastic, or it's just clear plastic, over white. So there's a little bit of space between that clear piece and the white behind it, and I don't know, it just adds some really nice depth to it. I really dig it. I think the cobweb pattern came out looking very clean on this head sculpt. I really like this a lot. I'm a bit bothered by the neck length over here. One thing to mention is that, you know, when you take these off and you put them on, try to push the head down as far as it will go. You know, that's going to make it look a bit better, you know. For some reason, I feel like this squinty-eyed head just squishes down a little bit further than the wide-open eyes, you know. But I think this one looks really good, too. I really like how the eyes look, so that's a nice choice. Very pleased with that. So, yeah, just feel like the neck looks a little long, but at the same time, I like the articulation that it grants having that extra long neck, and we'll get into that articulation in a minute. And I really like the suit. Mine did arrive a bit crooked, and I find myself constantly trying to, you know, reposition it here and there, but I still think it looks great. Very durable suit. I did get a tiny bit of like a scuff or something that, you know, kind of distorted the red right over there. I mean, that's fairly minor. I think I left them overnight in a dynamic pose like that or something, so that was my mistake. You know, I try to not leave my figures in extreme dynamic poses if they have, you know, fabric, you know, because it's not the most durable of fabric. But compared to other companies, this is actually the most durable fabric that I've seen on a figure. I mean, really, this thing holds up very well. You can do a lot with it. So yeah, I'm not complaining about the fabric too much. I'm saying I really like it a lot. Nice stretchy blue fabric right there. I think this is cotton or polyester. It's probably polyester. I don't know. And then this material right here kind of has this plastic quality to it. And looking on the back, so you can see it gets a little crooked. And I do like the buck for this too. I think it works very well for Spider-Man. You know, his web shooter right there is kind of sticking out a little bit more than I think it really needs to. But hey, you know, yeah, you know, if you're with Mary Jane, like you gotta put up, man. So I wish the legs were a little on the thicker side, but at the same time, I still like the thinner buck for Spider-Man, so it really doesn't bother me too much. We get some hard plastic right here. I think Mezco did a great job getting a consistent look for the plastic in this softer material that we're seeing right here. You know, it's different materials, but they do blend in well together. You can see a slight difference, but I think they look pretty good. And then looking at the boots right there, big old calf muscles. Then looking at the shoes, not looking too bad, because they do look like sneakers a little bit with the treads, and you can see the peg hole right there. Now, I mostly like the articulation on this figure, but it is not the most posable Spider-Man figure out there. You can get him looking up very far, though. I mean, that is great. That's what I was talking about. You know, having that neck joint and the head joint, I mean, yeah, that works out very well. You can get him looking down very far. You get side-to-side motion and a great amount of head tilting. I wish he had better butterfly joints. I could feel it just kind of shifting in there a little bit, but I really can't get this shoulder moving towards the front of the figure like how I would like. But you can get the shoulders moving outward very far. That's very impressive, especially with all this fabric and everything going around. You can move the arms all the way up. I mean, you can have his arm facing upward like that. Again, you don't want to leave him like that for an extended period of time, but you can do that if you're taking a bunch of photos. You get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then you get wrist rotation, and you have a hinge which you could churn so that it's moving up and down or side to side. We get a diaphragm joint that churns side to side, and you get diaphragm pivot in there, and he'll crunch forward that much and back a little bit. His waist joint's kind of weird. I can get the waist joint moving just going one side but not the other, and you can see the seam from the suit, which is actually really good placement. But yeah, I wish I could get the waist joint turning both ways, and it just turns a little bit, and a little bit of waist pivoting right there, and he will barely crunch forward and back at the waist. Hip joints are very good. I mean, man, I really wish Hot Toys could take some notes from Mezco over here. I mean, look at that, man. I don't feel like this is going to break. I've already been posing the hell out of this figure. Nothing going wrong over here. I mean, that is awesome. So yeah, very pleased with that. He'll kick forward very far, not back so much. Upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then I wish he did have better ankle articulation. You could turn the boot side to side a bit right over there, but the ankle will move down just that much. Barely moves upward at all. If you want to say that's moving upward, I mean, you really have to like shimmy it to get that moving upward. And he has some decent ankle pivot. Not the kind of ankle pivot I would like to see, but you know, it's there. Now to measure out the height of this Spidey figure, you can see that he is standing just under 7 inches tall. And then comparing this Spider-Man figure next to a couple other 112 Collective Marvel Mezco figures, we have Captain America and Daredevil. And you can see Spidey is a little bit taller than I think he should. I don't know, if anything, he should be a little shorter than Daredevil, and he's at the same exact height as Cap over there, it looks like. But yeah, I wish he was just a little bit shorter. Then here's a Spider-Man Mezco figure next to the 112 Collective Brown Suit Wolverine, which I have yet to review, but I can see that the height difference right here actually looks pretty good. I do like Spider-Man standing much taller than Wolverine. And then here's the Mezco 112 Collective Spider-Man figure next to the Marvel Legends Pizza Spidey, and yeah, you can see that the Mezco figure is a little bit taller. And by the way, I did try to put a Peter Parker head sculpt on the Mezco figure, and it's pretty loose, but it actually does fit on there, so that could work. Then here's the Mezco Spider-Man figure next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hey brother, ooh, nice looking suit. I really like that. Probably more comfortable than mine. Mine bunches up all up in the crotch pit over here. It's pretty irritating. Hey, do you think I could borrow yours? Huh? Can I just grab... Ooh, oh, you're mean, brother. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my video from the very beginning all the way to the end. It really does help the channel a lot. So if you liked the video, please go ahead and hit that like button, leave a comment, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as well as hitting that notification bell to ensure that my videos pop up in your feed. I gotta say, I still like this figure even though I have gripes about it. There's something about this look that I really do like. It does have a very classy look to it, and it's not the most posable Spider-Man, but it's still very fun to pose. I love how durable the fabric is over here. I really like the accessories. So again, while I complained, I did like it. Thus it gets a SUD rating of...
It's not too bad.
And I'd like to know what you think, so please again, leave a comment down below. I do have t-shirts available over at ShartimusPrime.net. If you want to pick any of the Legendary Collector t-shirts up, they are available in limited quantity. And if you want to see a photo gallery of images, it'll be over at MarvelousNews.com and ShartimusPrime.net. And don't forget to follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links to everything in the description below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face,